square cardboard box. Yeah, we gotta do the little clapper. Ow! Because we get like real raw. I didn't want it to be like, I did not want it to be scripted. My name is Serene.
Hello, Serene.
From Reedy's Kitchen. Rain, what's up, girl?
Hey.
I couldn't think of anybody other than you to feature you on the third episode because I know that you have an amazing story.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we have a lot of similarities in stories.
Yes.
And it was so amazing how I think once we started to get to know each other with you coming into the group and things like that, just how similar those stories were. And you're actually like one of the strongest women that I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, girl. So, I want you to introduce yourself to our lovely guests who are tuning in to A Date with Destiney. We want to know your name. What do you do? Before we just kind of dive into it.
Okay, well, my name is Serene Tavorn. I am the owner of Reedy's Kitchen. We have been in operation for going on our third year. It's a catering business. We cater a little bit of everything. Anything that you may want to eat, we can do it for you.
Listen, now, everybody know. I be like, Serene is the best cook that I know, period. Like, every time I go somewhere, like, I always have to plug you because your food is amazing and you're going to be catering the engagement party. I know you wanted to do the wedding, but you're in the wedding, so
Yeah,
you couldn't do that. It has blown up. Like, I'm sure you still want to do the restaurant, but now it's catering. You actually recently took a leap of faith and quit your job.
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
Ooh, talk about scary.
Yes.
I'm like, now that I have quit my job, it's like a weight off my shoulder because I was stressed
Yeah.
in that workplace. So, you know, I'm just trying to live intentionally the way God wants me to, and taking that leap of faith is just gonna open more doors for me because now I have all the time to, you know, work on new recipes,
Right.
Promote my business different ways to see what works better than what we've been doing. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy that I did it.
People see us in this state where we living in our glory, but they don't really know our story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They see, okay, Serena's quit her job, her business is doing well, but they don't see how Serene got there.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to kind of go on this journey with you. So what was it like, you know, growing up for you, the different experiences that you had?
Well, for me, I come from a big family. I have 7 brothers.
Woo!
I'm the baby, the only girl. So, future husband, I'm sorry.
Right. Listen, if you're watching.
So, I'm from Louisiana. I was born there, came here when I was like 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
My family was a little rocky situation. My mom lost custody of all of us, especially the 4 youngest.
Mm-hmm.
So me and 3 of my other brothers. The 3 of my brothers, they got adopted out to another family. My grandparents took me and they raised me. It was kind of a weird dynamic because I didn't get to, you know, see my brothers every day, but it's crazy how close we all are still, even like with my older brothers down to me. Like it's like we grew up together. So
that's good.
That's really good. Like I said, my grandparents raised me. My mom was in and out of my life. Now it's been rocky with our relationship, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
Like, I can genuinely say I love my mom, and I know my mom now. She's a sweetheart. She helps me with my son. He adores her. Anytime that she or he wants to talk to her, he picks up the phone, calls her, and she's right there for him. Spoils him to death, which, you know, grandparents. But, you know, when I was younger, I was in the foster care system. Me and my brothers as well, from, you know, group visits with them to meeting with social workers. I didn't really understand what was going on because I was so young.
Right.
Because I moved in with my grandparents when I was about probably 5 or 6. So we weren't here long before that happened. So I really didn't know what was going on. I just knew, I'm going to stay with grandma and granddaddy.
Right.
I love being there. It was just me. So like I got everything that I wanted.
We done went from 7 to 1.
So it's like I don't really remember vividly my childhood. I know it was rough, and I think it's a suppression of the memories, everything that we went through. But it was some getting used to, because like I said, I didn't grow up with my brothers. I always wanted to be with them because I was the only one with my grandparents. So
you grew up pretty much as an only child.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, like, because I was in foster care myself. I was not in foster care most of my life, such as you. But I remember going through the visits and the therapy and all these different things that they have you go through. Did you ever question, like, why your mom wasn't in your life the way that you wanted her to be, maybe?
When I was younger, yes. But as I grew up, I know... I think I was either in 7th or 8th grade. I really figured out what was going on, because like I would still be able to go over to see her, but my visits of her, it was just like her sleep all the time. So I was really to myself, or her best friend's daughter was there, but she was older than me, so it was really just me when I went over there. And I think it was my 8th grade year, she came over to our house and she was like, she told my grandparents that she wanted to go back to Louisiana and be in a program to help her get sober. Okay. So up until probably I was in college, I didn't know. I thought she just had a drinking problem. It was shielded from me. Yeah. From what really happened, because I saw her like having a drink one day. I was like, but I thought you... Oh, but it was something different.
Listen. Because like I said, with us sharing similarities, of course everybody knows that my mom and I are not as close as I would like us to be. We don't even talk. And so I think the biggest thing for me is the fact that, like you said earlier, you guys are now actually able to build a relationship. And so I think the biggest component of being able to build a relationship with your mom, to me, would be forgiveness, right? Was it ever hard for you to forgive her? Did you ever feel any type of resentment at one point in time? Because you're a mom yourself, so I know it's rough when you don't really have that example other than your parents and your grandparents. You know what I mean? Because I was raised by my grandma and grandpa. And I think, they did the best that they could, but we weren't their kids.
Yeah, it's different when it's them, because you know them as grandma and grandpa. Right. Not mom and dad. Right. So even though my grandparents did everything, that they could, they were like in their 70s, early 70s, raising a 5-year-old.
Because they raised their kids.
Right.
Right. So it's like, you see this dynamic with other kids and their grandparents, and you like, I don't really have that dynamic because... It's like, I don't get to come and visit grandma and grandpa and then leave and be with my parents. I'm here. I'm stuck here. And even though we love our grandparents, because I'm so grateful, God rest my grandmother's soul. I'm so grateful for everything that she's done for me, just because if it wasn't for Tammy Hargraves, baby, okay, I'd probably be somewhere lost in the sauce, honey, yes. Okay? But it's like, I don't think people realize the effects that plays on your mental, because even though it's like, okay, I know my mom done went to Louisiana to get better, right? I know that whatever issues she has, she's working to get better, but it's still like that feeling of, what would life be like if mom did raise me? If mom did step up a little sooner other than leaving me with my grandma and grandpa? I remember just being a kid and being so jealous of other kids. Yes. Because I'm like, wait, like, you get to live with your mom and your dad? Like, and granted, my mother was always present as far as, like, coming to see us and things like that. But my mom was not being a mom.
Yeah.
It was more of like, my mom was my sister. You know, and even now I think that's what the hardest thing about our relationship is. We can't really sit down and have that conversation. And so to see you and your mom, you know, work on that, I think has been a super huge inspiration for me, and I'm sure for other, you know, adult women who suffer from mommy issues. Because we always hear about the daddy issues, but we don't talk about the mommy issues. Like, it's a lot of us women that are out here empowering other women that have mommy issues. Like,
Definitely.
It's a real thing. Because I know right now, like, you and your sister are currently living together, raising your kids together.
Yes.
Which is, like, super cool because it's like 2 moms came together and it's like we raising our kids and we just about to get it done. So tell us a little bit about that.
So, being a single mother, it's a journey.
Oh,
it
listen,
really
I know.
is. Like, I never thought that I would be in this position. But I'm kind of happy that I don't have to co-parent. I know that kind of sounds bad,
Listen.
I get to make all the decisions,
all right.
So it kind of helps. But it's hard. There's some days where, you know, I wish that I didn't have to make all the decisions on my own, but I don't know. I don't think I would change how everything happened or went about, because it's made me stronger. Because when Joe was, I want to say like 6 months, I was ready to give up.
Yeah.
Somebody else can do it. Because I was in like postpartum depression. That was a doozy.
How long did it last?
I want to say a good 1.5 years.
Oh, wow. Did you ever like try to get any help for it, or?
No. I kind of just prayed, you know, seek God or sought out God. And without God, I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
And my support system, like my sister, she is one of my biggest supporters. And without her, like, I wouldn't have been able to really quit my job, because she kept like egging me on. Like, just do it. You can do it.
No, but I think that's so dope, though, that you guys were able to both come together and turn a negative situation into a positive, because single parenting is hard.
Yes.
Like, and I don't think people understand just how hard it is. Like, having to make, excuse my French, shit happen for your kids. Like, and I mean, nitty gritty, get it out the mud, because I remember several times where DJ and I didn't know where our next meal was coming from at the very beginning, because I was 16.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was just a matter of, okay, do he eat? Do I eat? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a kid, he a kid. We just trying to figure this thing out, you know? And I think people don't realize, just kind of like adding salt to the wound, you know, you don't really have that example. So now I'm a single parent raising this child. There is no handbook on parenting. Like, how the heck do we maneuver through this? And then having postpartum depression and not getting any type of like clinical help. Oh my God. Because there are so many women out there, probably some that are watching, that may be struggling with that. You know, who don't know God for themselves, that don't know how to pray, that, you know, because sometimes it be a little hard.
Yes.
You know, sometimes the only thing you can do is cry, because you don't even know how to utter the words to say, God, I need your help. God, I need you to help me through this. So that's actually my first time hearing that part about your story. And I just want to commend you, because I too have suffered from depression. And I think one of the things that I'm really proud about you with is that there has been times where you have admitted, like, hey guys, I need to take a step back because I'm suffering, you know? And I think that's the biggest thing of having, like, that is just so courageous to me. Being able to say, hey, I'm suffering, I'm depressed, or I'm feeling anxious, right? Because a lot of times we don't want to tell people, because we start to feel like we're a burden, or we don't want to, you know, put our issues or our problems onto other people, or people think we crazy. I had to take a mental health day yesterday because I was like, I'm literally on the brink of breaking down, just because sometimes when you're the go-to person for everybody and you're being stretched in 20 million different places, and now, you know, I'm about to get married, I'm trying to plan a wedding, I'm trying to be a good fiance, trying to be a good mom, like trying to be a good friend, trying to be a good leader, trying to run the businesses, like, you know, so people don't understand that support system is major. People don't understand that, You know, sometimes I need a break. Sometimes I can't be Superwoman. So I think that's really dope that you have gotten the courage enough to say, hey, I'm struggling. I need some time. People are asking me, girl, because I done got engaged almost 2 weeks ago. People are like, Destiney, what was your prayer? I'm like, dang, I'm feeling like Sierra in this thing. Like, you know, I thought Sierra might have just been getting them questions because she was famous. But no, people are really in my inbox asking me, what was your prayer?
They need to know.
And I struggled for a while with being single. And at the time, I didn't really have friends that were single. And so it was really hard kind of maneuvering through that. Mm-hmm. And now, most of my friends are single. And so I think a lot of you guys kind of look to me because you like, wait, we seen you in your single season. Like, what's going on? So I really want to talk about your intentionality as far as discovering who Serene is and discovering what Serene wants, what she needs through this journey. So can you tell us a little bit about what your single season has looked like, how you have been able to maneuver through it, and where you currently are with it?
Well, I'm in the better part of my singleness. Because it's hard. Mm-hmm. Like my Facebook status today, like, dating is for the birds.
It's not easy in today's age.
It's not.
Just want to throw that
It's not. Nobody wants to go out. Nobody wants to really get to know you.
Everybody want to Netflix and chill. Don't nobody want to Netflix and chill all the time.
I want to get out of the house.
Right.
Like, we've been locked up for Corona, so I'm trying to go out. I don't want to watch TV.
Right. I'm going to fall asleep.
Right.
Okay? Don't
get me comfortable.
We being honest. I'm going to fall asleep.
But, I mean, I've struggled with singleness, and you know this. Like, I've struggled. But now, I don't know, from having our talks together, praying about it. Yeah. Just not, like, praying for somebody, but actually, like, praying for me to heal myself. Yeah. Do what I need to do to be prepared to receive that person. Yeah. And it's not that, you know, I want to be in a relationship so bad or get married anymore. It's just I want to be ready. I want to be right for that person. Right. And, man, it's taking me a minute. But I can honestly say now, like, if I go the rest of my life with just being me and Josiah, well, he'll eventually, you know, grow up. But if it's just me and God, like, okay.
But, you know, that's where I was at when he brought Jabari into my life. Mm-hmm. I was at that point. I was like, you know what? God, if it's just me and you, it's just me and you. Like, you know, because I like that you said, I'm not praying for God to bring me a man. Mm-hmm. I'm not praying for God to, you know, bring me my husband. I'm praying that God heals me. Because I think what people don't realize is you can get so obsessed with the idea of a relationship that when the reality hits, you don't know what to do with it. Right. Because a relationship takes a lot of work. Yeah. Being able to talk with you, you know, about your single season and having those talks about, you know, the different things that you struggle with, I have seen you flourish in this season. And I think if women just understood that being single is not a curse, it's actually a blessing.
It really is.
If men, you get what I'm saying? If you're single, like, it's not a curse, it's a blessing. Like, God is hiding you for that special person. In this single season, to my ladies out there, like, you should be coming up with a manual on how you want to be loved. So, we've talked about, you know, during this session, how you've gone from being broken, right? Mm-hmm. So, dealing with being in and out of the foster care system growing up, having to live with your grandparents, watching a mother be addicted to drugs, to drinking, and really having to determine, okay, now that I'm a mom and I didn't really have that example outside of my grandparents, how do I maneuver this thing called motherhood? You know, you went from Renee's Kitchen just being a dream or a goal or a vision to it actually happening. And so I want to know, because you went from being broken, right, to intentionally building, what does living an intentional life look like to you?
It looks like, to me, just doing everything with a purpose. Yeah. Like, set your goals for a purpose. Yeah. Like, why am I setting this goal? What is it going to help me do, you know, in the long run? Not just for something short term. Yeah. It's really living to live.
With you stepping out and quitting your job, like, that was fear. I remember you texting me and you're like, I am so freaking scared. I'm like, do it. Just do it. You can't think about it. You just got to do it. Like, if God told you to do it, you just got to jump.
I wasn't ready.
So, but I remember you said the same day you quit, you was like, sis, I booked 3 gigs.
Yeah.
I booked three catering, events. And that's major, because had you not quit, what if you would have missed out on those opportunities? So being able to do all of that, what advice would you give to the young lady or young ladies who may be suffering with all of what you have suffered with or have overcome?
I would say definitely, like, if you're suffering from depression or postpartum depression, you don't know what's really going on, like, with you mentally, seek help. You're not crazy if you go to therapy. I've been to therapy numerous times as a kid, as an adult, here recently. It's good to get a perspective from someone who's, on the outside looking in.
So I just want to say, hats off to you, girl. I know you are about to take off, and it has been an honor to watch you go from operating in a broken state of mind to living your life intentionally. And so I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to my viewers who have tuned in. I really hope that you have taken something away from this episode. Again, if you're struggling with anything, always look to God. Make sure you get the help that you need. And overall, just understand that you got this. So until next time, y'all, I will see y'all later. Thank you for tuning in to A Date with Destiny. Bye.